Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dwayne here with Growing Together Nursery, and we have an update for y'all. So if you do know, we've had recently a fluke freeze come by, and it really froze a lot of our crops here, our plants and trees and whatnot. Not to the degree of, well, I'll show you, but got a little bit of damage over here. Nothing to worry about. But is it a gamble, right? Is growing a gamble? Should you be in it? All right, should you be doing this? And are we crazy for loving this weird pain, right? That we go ahead and we grow and things, sometimes they dive down and come back up, and sometimes they'll be fruitful, sometimes not. This is the gamble, right? But should you do it, right? Let me walk around and talk to you, and we'll show you exactly what made it, what didn't, and go from there. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Most things here are still green. If you walked around by the naked eye, you'd be like, well, everything looks great, right? It's still green. You're not seeing a ton of browning. But as you walk around, you will start seeing the details, right? So we got down to 32 degrees. Hang on here, let me zoom out. There it is. We got down to 32 degrees here last week, and then the following day, it was 33. That's what I registered here. Okay, now I want to walk you around and show you exactly what may have happened, okay, what got damaged, what didn't, and why that is, right? A lot of people ask me, why do I grow so dense in here? And this is one of the reasons, because winter is pretty painful for us. It can, where I'm up here in North 9B, and we do get kissed by the cold, and that means that the plants can suffer, and usually do, for a little small dip, but then they come back, for the most part, looking bigger and better than ever. Not always. We don't control the weather. Well, I don't. So we have to go ahead and adjust for Mother Nature. Now, some leaves are showing a little bit of spotting in there. You will see some that look better than others, and others, this is the sugar apple. This one, you can see that there's starting to be a little bit of damage on there. Not the happiest. And I'll tell you this could have been way worse if this Mexican sunflower wasn't here protecting it. Okay? This is right here next to it, giving it some semi-shade. But I guarantee you, if this was out there in full sun, it would have been way worse. You have any examples? Let's see. This thing is crispy. Am I really stressed about it? No. It will make it. These do take 28 degrees at maturity. But until then, I plant them very closely to other things. And a lot of people would say, dude, that's a lot of pruning and a lot of maintenance in between. But if you can get, here's another sugar apple, a little bit larger. If you can get them big enough, they will produce and they'll make it through the winter. Now, is this the only way to do it? No. There's people that use chemicals. What? Yep. They will spray their trees with them artificial chemicals to allow them to stay green, right? There's some like wilt stop, and there's some other chemicals that, by all means, do your own research. Mulberries are pretty hardy, so that's just old foliage there. It's not from the frost. But there are chemicals that, if you want to go down that route, if you are that type, and you are you want to experiment with chemistry and potentially do more harm than good, by all means, spray away. Practice, find out what works for you. For me, I will not be doing that. I don't spray any of my stuff with anything that is inorganic. But you said you use Dawn every blue moon. All right, I'm guilty. I will use a little bit of Dawn here and there on just some of the scale and such. This over here, this side of the, oh, okay, we kind of decided to come out and say what's up. This side over here, because of these Mexican sunflowers, Tithonia difforsolia, they do stay warm. This area stays a lot warmer. Last year, this was a warmer side than that other side, and I'll show you what it looks like. But this side, not a lot of damage. Suriname cherry out in the open, didn't cover any of this stuff. I just kind of watered it the day before and allowed it to do its thing. Is there any damage? Yeah, there's a little bit, and there's more bug pressure than anything else. But the little bit of frost did set in. But if you do this correctly, you can protect your stuff by just planting densely. Now, are you going to have the biggest trees on the block? No. Here's some new growth. I think this is a Lancetilla, but it's growing so slow that I highly doubt it. This one froze all the way down and actually made it past the. I thought it was rootstock at first, or turpentine, but it's growing so slow, and the leaves do not smell like turpentine. Could have sworn Lancetilla was here, but nonetheless, the leaves look great. Not much burn over here. So it is kind of cool to walk around and find out which spots were affected more than others. That is how we find out how do we protect some of these trees without using a greenhouse. You know, you find out the warmest spots on your property and adjust accordingly. This Carrie was out here in full, I don't want to say full sun, but basically, yes, left out in the open. Takes 26 degrees, and even the new foliage looks okay. So not much burning on there, which is nice. And it's crazy because you could probably do 10 more trees and maybe have different results. But this is what we have to go off of. And I want to show you exactly what happened, if there's any damage, and find out why, right? Not black sapote, white sapote. This little leaf flipped over. I don't know if I can show you that. It's like I'm getting a shadow there. I'm in the way, yay. That leaf flipped over, so it got a little bit of frost damage on there. This one as well, but underneath, great. This is all new foliage. That looks okay. Again, I just have it tucked here next to this variegated katuk, surrounded by this cranberry hibiscus. And yeah, it's just growing a little wild, but it insulates here well, we're still in fall. We're not even in winter yet. This was a fluke. I guess we broke some records. Yay, not my style of record breaking, but you cannot do much but adjust and brace for impact. I wasn't able to activate all of my GoGo Gadget greenhouses, only 2 out of the 3, but for what it was, I still did okay. These turpentines, no stress whatsoever. I'm seeing that all the leaves look okay. Here's some of that damage that I was talking about. So here you have this Mahoy, double Mahoy, and right around these leaves, around the edges, is where you see that frost burn right there. Am I worried about it? No, this thing's not going to give us a rack. It's only like 2 feet tall. But just showing you. And look, that's just one leaf. The newest leaf. That's the newest leaf there. That has a little bit of burn. The rest of them seem to be doing fine. Not really that much burn on this one, so you get different results, and that's okay. This is why we run around and we check. I am harvesting some more Roselle calyxes. That way we can continue making some jam. Stop on by to be able to try some. We got them for pints for 15, half pints for 9. This one, the ice cream, also got a little bit of browning around that edge there. Okay, not too stressed about it. Again, it's not going to flower fruit forest this year. This is mainly for chop and drop, but also insulation, right? This does keep a lot of the frost off of the plants down below. Not that there's a ton of little babies that I'm protecting, but in theory, it protects everything and else, insulates a lot of this as well. So the red sugar apple, the Kangpong Mauve, doing great. This one sits underneath. This one's got a protector as well. She's sitting there watching, making sure there's no predators. This one's sitting here next to this Mexican sunflower as well. So that way it insulates it. Now, does it get full sun? No. But is she growing fine and looking good and hopefully going to give us some fruit this next year? Maybe. Tune in and find out. But no damage. Well, I don't want to say no. You could tell it's got a little bit of spots in there, but it's minimal compared to the sugar apple look. And I'll show you some other things. So last year I wrapped, if you were watching, thank you. If not, I did use frost cloth this past year for the last time. Really? Yeah, for the last time. because I went ahead and wrapped up this Valencia Pride. And out of all of these that I've wrapped, or that I didn't wrap, I left all of these unwrapped. This Valencia Pride was the only one that got hit with frost. It settled down over here, all the young leaves took a little bit of a hit. It's because I used some cheap frost cloth, I think it was from Amazon, and it just burned everything. I'm not going to use it again. I would rather use sheets or blankets or something like that, but no mas on that cheap stuff. You're going to spend, I guess, pony up and get something that's a little bit better. These potted trees, these mangoes over here, if you saw the last video, they were over there on the north side, and some of them got a little bit kissed by the cold. What's up, buddy? See ya. Got kissed by the cold, but for the most part, I'm very stoked that they're still looking green. There's not much browning of the leaves. Like this has a little bit of that variegated look. Ooh, fancy. No, that's more stress, right? That's just Kent stress. Not over all of it, I'll say, just this top piece. So not the worst. Not stressing about Kent. It will bounce back. Karen Michelle, not much, looking green. A little bit of powdery mildew that I need to go ahead and address. We'll get some soap on there and come over with a brush. I'll just scrub them off here. That's basically what I do. The old Juicy Peach. This is one of my favorite trees, the way she looks. She's got a good wide stance in this 15-gallon and just a wide, beautiful little girl. The way she's growing is great. The mango itself is exactly like it sounds. Juicy peach flavored mango. Amazing, but I fell in love with this little tree. I really do like it. Some mangoes, like for instance, this Kathy wants to go straight up, right? All the growth is at the top. This one took a little bit. It was showing those browning edges before, so I'm not really worried, but it grows differently. This thing, straight to the top. This one wants to be more of a small, short, stocky type tree. This is my style right here. I like these wider trees versus these tall, lanky ones, but each his own. Orange sherbet or sorbet. It is sherbet though, but this one, lots of powdery mildew. You can't tell in the shade there, but I do have to come back here and do a quick scrub because these ants are on it, folks. I went ahead and up potted this, and boy, oh boy, did I find a bunch of ants in there. So what do? We hit them hard. This is borax and sugar water, and the ants go in there, eat it up, send it back to the queen, and it wipes them all out. So that's what I use here. I am putting those metal bags around them. I'll show you. But that's what we do to combat the ants. Pitomba sat out here and took a little bit of a hit. There's some browning on the leaves. It wasn't looking the greatest over here. I was even debating moving it just because it hasn't been 100% in this area. I figured, hey, I'll give it some shade. It is underneath this oak right here, this baby oak. So I figured I'd move it over here. She's not looking great. Now, am I hopeful that we can keep her through the winter? I don't know. You know, tune in and find out. I may move it, up pot it, or not up pot it, put it in a pot, do what we have to do. Pakistan mulberry. This thing did get hit by the cold. Look at that. No, I guess, yeah, a lot of browning on there. Wow, unless that's just older. That seems a little bit more burned than usual. Maybe it's just me. So, what else has some damage? Lula? No, not Lula. Wurtz, the old Wurtz. Sorry, I moved some of these trees around, as you'll see here shortly, and now I have to remember where I put everything. So the Wurtz looks good. This one was tucked over there in the corner. The Rollinias, you'll tell just by looking at the leaves that yes, cold came in and fried some of the leaves. Now, is it going to take out the tree? No. Some of these will slowly but surely die, you know, as in like they will slowly die and you'll kind of think that they're still hanging in there and they'll start leaving you a little bit at a time. But this one seems to be hanging in there. I think they take 30 degrees, if I'm not mistaken, at maturity, something like that. Don't quote me. I didn't have the greenhouse activated large enough, the big greenhouse. So all of these had to stay out. This winter, this freak freeze kind of caught me off guard. As I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure everyone else was like, oh man, I'm not ready for this. But what do? Take the punishment, take the setback, but you move on. This Rollenia, not so bad. See the difference? Great looking leaves. Everything's looking green here. This one got more of the, yeah, it's got a little bit. It got a little bit. It's some crispy leaves in here. Am I going to sit here and pull them all off? No, I allow the wind to do it. I will call you back. Sorry, sis. Almost done here. Maybe. Some of these leaves, again, will fall off. As long as the new growth that pops up here shortly looks good, then we're in business. Small leaves look green, the new growth looks good, we're okay. But this stuff right here, this crunchy stuff, don't like to see it, but that's nature, folks. It doesn't like the cold, and she will tell you. She'll tell you what they like and what they don't like. Observation, folks. Lula, this is the Lula here. I tied it up to this mulberry. I got this Lula, no problem, no issues here. Let me show you some things that may have been affected. The rustle in the ground, no issues, no frost damage, no browning of the leaves. Looks very nice. Angie was put back over there. It seems okay. Now, all mangoes are the same cold sensitivity. Don't get fooled by, well, this variety is colder than this one, and this one can take more than that one. From what I hear, all right, I am not the expert, but from what I hear, they are all the same temp, right? They are all 32. Hang on, this one's barking over there, and I'm trying to find out if somebody's here. Nope, she's just barking at the wind. Thank you. Or at the neighbors. I apologize, neighbors. Working out the kinks here. She's still a little pup. This Simmons took a little bit of a hit. Some pest pressure probably, but also it could be worse. Not too bad. It's just some bit up leaves there. My own tree here, my own wild creation. No, don't multi-graft. It never works. So far so good, looking good. And no frost damage. Two different varieties. What is it? Oh, I forget. What is it? Let's see here. Oh, Russell and I think it's Poncho. Let's see. Oro Negro and Russell. Both of these look good. Yay. So that's the benefit of growing in pot. Oh, what's all this brown? I know. This is one that I wanted to show you. Not looking great. Very crispy. You may know it already. This one is Sweet Tamarind. This branch seems to be okay, but the rest of them, crispy, folks. Not looking great. Is she going to make it? I think so. I think she's going to hang in there. It's going to take a while. Now, am I going to recommend tamarind for all of y'all that live around here? Negative, right? I will keep that in a pot. That'll be more of a container baby. Not feeling that one for the most part. Again, this was just 32 for one night. The next night, we got down to 33. Hog plum, look at this. All the discoloration in the leaves, browning. This one doesn't like the cold either, folks. In a pot, this one was moved. And I'll show you the one that I did not move. But this one was moved and it was over there in the corner. I pulled it out yesterday and I was like, that sucks. But listen, folks, it's just foliage. As long as the tree makes it, then we'll get some fruit this next year. Bailey's Marvel, still green. Let's see, none of these mangoes over here got any damage. Most of my potted mangoes, thank you Jesus, is doing great. CAC, one of the tallest of the bunch, CAC, she was out here taking the punishment, no problem. Shows you that bigger mango can take more cold. But it depends. I mean, I really just squeeze them all in here. No heaters, no nothing. Just kind of using body temp and water. This one, the Malika, was already stressing. I was showing you guys how I was giving it some compost teas, give it some darker foliage in here. It got a little bit crispy, nothing crazy. I was expecting it to rebound here shortly anyways, but seems to be doing okay. I'll tell you one that doesn't look great here is this Fairchild seedling. Now, pest, yes, little frost, but it's got new growth coming, so maybe it wasn't affected that bad. Doesn't look the greatest. I will give it some more compost tea, some more sea kelp, and see where she goes there. And actually put in another one. Let's see if I can get you guys there. Right there's another Fairchild seedling, and that one out here in the open, no damage. So interesting. This is the newest one. I had this one in here first and found that other one was like, whew, can't let you go. Miss Carrie. Yep. Takes 26 at maturity, so not gonna kill it, but she still took a little bit of damage here. Okay, you can see the browning, the orange, still holding fruit. She took 26 degrees as like a knee-high tree and still held fruit when we first got her. The first year that we got her, she got hit really hard and held on like a champ. That's why I know that this is a great tree for this area and one that we highly recommend. Okay, sit back and collect fruit if that's what you want to do. Dragon fruit, not so bueno, folks. This one took a little bit of hit. Okay, I have a larger one over there that didn't, which was nuts. And this one has a little bit more protection. But, oh, sorry, I'm all tangled up here. Sorry. So yeah, this one, and I don't know the variety on this one. I think this was a gift, or it could have been all white. I am not the biggest fan because, one, it doesn't take the cold. Two, the thorns, folks. I don't like messing around with them thorns. And to wake up and pollinate in the middle of the night, I'll let you guys do that. Look at this Puerto Rican plantain over here. Took a little bit of damage. Leaves are kind of sinking in. Not the worst. Still, I've seen way worse on bananas. But this one, not protected, no nothing. Just still green. Here's one that's pretty surprising, is the Mamey. You're growing Mamey in Orange City? Dude, I dropped the seed and she's looking great, folks. Probably won't make it overall. Will she ever fruit? I don't know. But we're growing it. This is the little seed that we got from the, well, not we. My mom went out to Homestead. If you saw the video of us eating the Mamey back, I think it was last year, this is the seed from that fruit. What variety? Don't know. She's looking great. New growth is doing good, so I am stoked to still have her. Back over here is where I kind of shoved in a lot of the stuff. This Rollenia is still here and recovering. Kind of some brown leaves. Bacon, did okay. This one supposedly, according to the tag, takes 22 to 24 at maturity, so not too bad. And for a cold hardy avocado, it's a great location for her. I don't want a huge tree here, so I'm not too stressed about it. But I think the idea is to pack them in here tight, block some of that northern wind. This is the north side over here. Canistel, had her up against the fence over there, so one of the coldest, or one of the warmest positions here. She's looking okay. Am I expecting fruit? Not really. That's coming from it already froze down past the rootstock, or past the underneath the graft, and now it's coming back from the rootstock. Floragon was back over here, just up potted into a 25. For real, Floragon, listen, she's not that bad, folks, okay? Floragon is the entry level of Indo-Chinese, good producer, although this last year, most of them fell off. She was holding a bunch. And yeah, there's part of that where I wrapped it with that cellophane and then that insect barrier. Don't do that. Don't do that. Attack the ants with these bags, or with these bottles of borax and sugar, and now that's what I do is I wrap them inside of these mesh bags so the predators don't get to them, or dogs, cats, whatever you have over there. But that's how I'm using them, because the bags aren't going to be useful until mango season anyway, so why not? Over here, all of these little seedlings stayed over here. See this sugar apple? Not looking great. Although the new foliage, not so bad. Looks like it's just the older stuff. This Rollenia slept the night over here. You can see the new growth. Little bit dry, little beat up, but oh, that's not too bad. Can't complain. Can't complain. This was a way larger tree, as you can see. It died all the way back and just resprouted way down here. And she's coming back. Give your trees and plants some time. Maybe, just maybe, they won't be completely DUN, right? So this one will be moving out. I'll get her some more sun here shortly. But the new growth is how you know what was affected. See how it's all limp? Yeah, this is the new growth. Not super fried, but she's hurt. They're going to recover. It'll be fine. Don't worry, folks. It's just a light little frost here. Now, if this is the forecast of what's to come this winter, here's Bumpy. This one was actually in the greenhouse. This is a forecast, and we may be in trouble, folks. So let's hope that this is it. And Joaquin A was also in the greenhouse. Shout out to Farrer Ranch. Teach a man to fish, and he will fish forever. Give a man a fish. You know how the whole thing goes. And you'll keep giving him more fish. So I taught him how to graft, and he actually made his Joaquin A for me. So see that? Learn how to graft, and then you can just be off on your own doing your own thing. You want to learn? Come on by. Super Julie, I left her over here in this corner. No issues. Most of this side over here on the north side is the coldest. Here's a banana leaf or plantain leaf that took a little bit of damage. But the north side is the coldest side. That's where the cold air comes in. So I am stoked to have a little bit of coverage over here. That's why I keep a lot of these inside. Oh, before we go ahead and cruise through there. Honey Kiss with a little bit of Cold Kiss on top. New foliage is looking a little brown on there. Small dwarf tree. And the way that I'll have it set up is I have it underneath, well, not yet, but as she grows up, I'll tuck it kind of underneath this plantain. I'll trim all these leaves back, and she'll come up real nice right here. And stay small compared to that Harvest Moon there. Oh, Harvest Moon, no damage on that. None. Looking good. Didn't cover, didn't do anything to her. The only part that I actually used the blankets for, blankets or sheets, was for the passion fruit area. The Stinga slept out. Got a little bit here and there, but nothing crazy. Most of the Jabos seem to be pretty tough, which is good. Which is exactly what we want. Gigantic Suriname slept over here. New growth, little beat up, but the rest of it looks okay. Have I had this one? No, not yet. See that? Oh, we got some fried leaves, folks. She is fried. Okay, just a new growth. I'll more than likely just trim it back or allow it to just resprout. Most of these trees will reset themselves. I had to get these out in the sun here, but now the new growth is usually what gets affected for the most part. The older stuff, yeah, you see how it's all limp here. And this is with overhead protection, right? This is with overhead protection and my neighbor's house right there. So it does bring in or block some of that wind. This one was already hurting, it seems, but not too bad. Not too bad. Katuk just keeps on ticking, folks. She is kicking off a ton of seed pods or fresh little nuts if you would like. Eat them right before they get super big. It's a great protein snack. Yep. You can eat the flowers, eat the leaves. Enjoy the music from my neighbor. and play some great 1s and 2s over here. This one, little crispy, not the worst. Okay, so moving them around was the best thing that I could have done. If I would have left them all where they were sitting before, I would have had way more casualties. Let's see, this one not the worst either. In here, yeah, we got some damage, more new growth, of course. Just baby rootstocks. Let me get you in there. You want to see carnage? You want to see destruction? I know. You want to see everything fail over there. Some of y'all are congratulators. Why, thank you. Thanks for watching. Other y'all are just here to hate, and that's cool too. Listen, we'll take whatever we get here. But this sugar apple, not looking the greatest. Not worried about it. We have more. Venus out here in the open didn't get much. Didn't get much damage. There is some little bit of yellowing here and here on some older foliage. But for her taking most of the cold wind up high, seems to be doing okay. New growth, a little brown on top. But will she make it, folks? Can she stick around and give us some late season mangoes this next year? Tune in and find out. Been cleaning up and getting some things in order. Weather is gorgeous now. Went from freezing down to the 80s or up to the 80s this whole week. We should be right around like low 80s, which is amazing, folks. This is the time to be out and about, getting your stuff ready. But yeah, it could have been way worse. It could have been way worse. I was expecting it to be all that. But if I would have had the other greenhouse up, my largest one over here, things would have been a little bit better. And if I went into the greenhouse, so it wasn't damaged. This one that I left out here, this diamond seedling on this north side, looking great. Nothing brown. I mean, it doesn't have anything, it doesn't have any new growth, so that wouldn't be affected. So, but other than that, it looks fine. Groomy Chama with new growth. Look at this. And you know, groomies are not, they're not fans of the cold. So very interesting. Look at that, beautiful. All the leaves look to be a-okay. Now, is it because we have it tucked next to this white sapote? I don't know. Some of y'all are going to say, no, it's just because of, I know, whatever. We never know. But I think she's doing okay. And she may be happier now that she's there with the little buddy. The rest of these mangoes, I think that's Ugly Betty and Rosy Gold, did great. Sassy Love, no damage. But most of these trees, for the most part, seem to be ticking and talking. See this? Maybe some older foliage on the Subel. Newer stuff, looking good. As long as the newer stuff is holding, man, this white mulberry keeps kicking out from the rootstock. All this is rootstock down there. What type of mulberry are they grafting onto, folks? I don't know. I haven't seen any berries on the rootstock. Baldo or toilet paper plant, no freeze, so the leaves are still usable. I guess if they're crunchy and brown, you're not going to be wiping nothing with that. Miracle Fruit, I had to put that in. There's no way I'm going to lose that tree. So it will always stay in a container up here and will be moved. Looks like Sugarloaf, but I don't know. Let's see here. Where is the tag? Yep, that's Sugarloaf. Okay. No issues with that. The avocados in ground surprisingly did okay. I mean, these have already taken a hard hit anyways. That's why they're shrimps, is because last year they froze as well. So they are not growing from the rootstock though. This is still the grafted variety. That was Fantastic. Sorry. I have Ooh La La, Fantastic, and then Donnie over here, which more than likely will be grafted into something else until we figure it out here. But Jabos are looking good. This little Sabra took a little bit of a hit, but it's going to be fine. Foliage was already struggling for the most part, but some more tea, some more H2O, and they'll be off and running here. Ice cream with the new growth, somewhat looking good. It's not crispy. Moved a lot of the jabos over here. Most of them seem to be doing okay. This red, because it was on the end, took a little bit of that cold, but listen, it's just a red, nothing fancy. She'll be back. Hasn't flowered yet for us. This one I got from Adam. Supposedly pretty soon though. Any day, any minute, this thing should be kicking out some blooms for us. I think this was a Grimmel mix, Grimmel hybrid. Not the worst. Folks, we dodged a good one over here. This could have been, I could have been on here crying this whole time, saying, oh no, woe is me. But listen, folks, we live, we learn, we adjust. You know, if you do nothing, then you can lose everything, right? But if you at least have some sort of a plan of action to keep your trees in a nice warm place, then maybe, just maybe, you can go ahead and make an investment or make that gamble that can work for you, right? Growing is a gamble. All this is a gamble. Again, this could all be here today, gone tomorrow, and I hate to say it that way, but that is the truth, folks. Okay, big storm, big freeze, then I'll be on my knees crying. But listen, until then, you hang in there, you get a little cheap greenhouse, you move your trees around, lay them down if you have to, cover them up, you know, whatever it takes. But once you start getting fruit, man, there's no going back. Barbados cherries in pots took a hit, but this one in the ground, no issues, no issues. Most of the foliage, well, I don't want to say no issues. Some of the foliage has a little bit of a darker hue, probably tough to pick up here on my handy dandy old phone, but seems to be doing all right. It's going to hang in there. She's still dropping fruit. I got green fruit all over the place. We got some ripe ones. And what's really cool is a new hack for that, or a new way to eat them per se, is to freeze them. I've been freezing them, and a great little snack frozen. You just got to be careful. Yes, there's seeds in there, so don't bite all the way through, but good little fruit frozen. Good treat. Maria mangoes are looking great. This one does have a little bit of powdery mildew on it, but y'all, she is not like the others. Okay, this mango is not like the others. I'm telling you, the leaves are monsters. It's a monster tree, big fruit, big flavor. You don't like any of those, this ain't gonna be the one for you. But I'll tell you what, once you taste this, okay, and no, I didn't taste it last year. That's this year. First fruits, we do not taste here. So that Marcus pumpkin will be harvested today and gifted. So I won't be eating it, right? I have to wait till next year. A little bit of powdery mildew, or no, black sooty mold. Sorry, not PM, black sooty mold. That's what we're talking about on the leaves here. But this year, hopefully we can get some off that larger Maria, and we'll let you know how we're doing here. Because we got backups, y'all. Don't worry, we got more coming. All right. I'm going to try to get these on all of these, not all, a lot of these turpentines out here. This stuff in here seems to be doing all right. Lemon guava hanging in there, can take the cold a little bit. Here's one that doesn't like the cold and doesn't like this spot. She's going to put up a little bit of a fuss. I can already tell. This is the PPC at Des Moines. I thought they were a little bit hardier than what this one is showing. You lied to me, girl. Why are you going through it now? No. It's a small tree. She just got put in there. They do take 28 degrees, but she's looking kind of ratted out. She doesn't like me because ever since I took off that last fruit, she put up a little bit of a pout. She started looking droopy. I gave her some compost tea, and now we'll see if we can bring her back to life. Saint Paris, one of the finest fruits in all of the land. It's not mine anymore. I know, not mine. This is already paid for, but we're watching it here. We're going to take care of her, and maybe this next year she will go into her forever home, folks. All right. tune in. I'll let you know. Other Groomy, this one's a yellow Groomy Chama out here in the open. No issues on the leaves whatsoever. The leaves are nice and thick is probably what it is. Leaves on this are a little bit, and because of this nice Gandula up here. Does it help? Possibly. You know, it is kind of, you know, it's a lot of twigs and sticks, but there's some leaves up here that can possibly take some of the frost off of that. So does it work? Cool. Yeah, or maybe, but also you can use it for nitrogen, right? So you chop these, which I'm not going to chop anymore, but to show you, chop them, and that will give them nitrogen. It is airborne and also down into the roots, but we need this coverage for the rest of the winter that's coming, so I won't be cutting much. And Sunrise, I moved her out here. She is a huge tree, folks. She wants to shoot straight up, kind of like Kathy. She is growing very similarly, and haven't tasted this one yet. Not going to say it's going to be my favorite. I already know how the tones are. Not my style, but listen, folks, there's people that do love Indian flavored mangoes. They will travel, and my family loves it. It's a me thing, right? I'm not hating on the fruit. There's a fruit for everyone, but that's just not my deal. I'd rather have the other flavors. Black Zapote, or no, yes, this one's Black Zapote, but this one was in the greenhouse. Maybe out here in the open, in which I hear that they're pretty close to like mangoes, right? So 32, maybe 30 degrees, who knows? But yeah, folks, it's not the worst out here. We did take a little bit of damage on some of the new growth. Here's some Puerto Rican black beans here on this trellis, and I moved all these mangoes that were here because this little vine is aggressive. It really is. Is it a Puerto Rican thing? I don't know, but they are growing wild out here. Very fast growth. I think I have about 5 or 6 plants in there. Got these from Jera's Garden. Shout out to her. Haven't grown these before, but supposedly great dried black bean, and figured I'd give them a shot. But you could see how it got some damage here on this older stuff. All right, so beans took a little bit of a hit. They're out here in the open. Nothing was actually here warming them up. I didn't start a fire, or I wasn't out here talking to them. I'm sorry. Some things have to make it on their own. Real quick, let me show you those versus these beans. These are the long beans. I think these are just red long. And yeah, this one got a little bit more destroyed, if you will, by the cold. This is the north side, so, and what I'm going to end up doing is ripping out this whole entire trellis anyways. I was growing stuff on here, but what I've noticed is if I grow beans up them, they're so close to the fence that they just want to climb up over. I'm back here all the time just chopping them. So I will be rearranging this trellis, moving it to the back over there and using it more like a fence. But in due time, folks. Dang. Almost an hour, and I got to make a phone call. So listen, folks, we got a few more things to show you, and then I got to get out of here. Got work to do. For real. This is June plums, and these two sat outside, and not all of the foliage is burned, but a lot of it. So it is one of those things that you just see who can make it, who can take it, and who has to be adjusted for next time. Glenn and Fairchild in here are doing fine. I did put some, I put some Suriname cherries underneath. And as you can see, the foliage is brown in there. So did it like it? Not so much, but plant or the tree is still alive. So that's the best part. Orange Essence and Gary, or vice versa, are doing fine. Pickering, little bit of miscoloration up on the very top here, but nothing too bad. Here's another sugar apple that's going through it there. That one stayed there, but not the worst, folks. What are we going to do? this one, Fairchild did okay. No damage. If I would have covered this, if I would have had time to build this, I would have been able to save a lot more of this stuff. But it's what it is. Do what you can when you can, and I will have it set up for winter. Truly Tinies weren't moved, and I should have moved them, because now look, now it's all browning up. Is it going to kill it? No, it's not going to die per se, but that stress, this one got worse. This one's probably the worst banana out here. Kind of got beat up here, some frozen, some burnt up leaves there. Just going to leave them. The new growth, this is one of the newest ones, seems to be doing fine. So, and this has stuff growing around it as well. Back up and then show you up top. So there's some oaks above it. So this is one of my warmest spots. So that's why I shoved in a lot of that stuff in there as well. But everything seems to be doing all right. This red hybrid here with some flowers took a little bit of a hit as well. You can see where there's some browning. Was already kind of looking like that, but you could tell that it did get a little crispy up on top. Am I stressed? Nope. Hopefully it'll hold some fruit. That's all we need. See this? New growth is looking good on the gandulas. Oh, and the mountain soursop. This one takes 28 degrees. New growth on that. Hanging in there. But if you come over here, you can see that there's some browning spots in there. There's some browning spots. Not all over. I'm pretty happy considering she was here uncovered. But here and there, you'll see a little bit of brown hues to them. But stoked to still have her. But everything in the nursery is looking good, folks. Watering like crazy. Bringing everything back out. Come by and see us. We are open. Today's Saturday. We are open till 5 now, folks. And Sunday, 12 to 5. Chacha made it. Most of this stuff has no damage. Okay, so come on by and say what's up. Still have to move some things back around. But beautiful day here in North 9B. We adjust for the cold, folks. Get some greenhouses, put your plants together, build a fire, smudge pot, whatever you got to do. But trust me, if you can go ahead and keep your plants alive, you will be harvesting some great fruit. If that's your thing. If not, keep going to the store and buying that sprayed on fruit, right? Barbados cherries over here. Remember I told you, I was like, oh, I should move them, shouldn't I? I don't know, she'll be fine. Little bit crispy here. Little bit. I mean, I'd say 5% of the leaves, 10%, but not bad, folks. Don't worry. They're still going to produce for you. I think I have one over there holding still, but didn't freeze them. So you're saying there's a chance. There's a chance, folks. They're going to be fine. The sweet ají, or the Puerto Rican pepper here, big plant, no damage. No damage on here. And this thing probably has another 5 pounds of fruit on it. Different stages and flowering still. So very surprised on how prolific this little pepper can be. But just a little bit of yellowing on the top here. I don't know if you can see the hue, but just a little bit inside. Could have been worse. And all the greener stuff is down below just because it's more protected. Avocados are looking good. Anti-lilies, you can see the damage on the very top. Let's see if we can't get you out of here. You can see where it gets a little bit more on that yellow side. So way up top, supposedly they grow 8 feet. That seems a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, these anti-lilies, they're not the biggest fans of cold, so nothing to really worry about. I wasn't expecting them to pass, but also I knew that damage would be had. A little bit of damage, okay. But for the most part, look at this branch out here out in the open. No issues. For the most part. I mean, new growth looks good. I like to grow it in semi-shade. And here's another reason why, right? Little semi-shade will give you a little bit of wind protection or sun protection and maybe some cold front protection, but got more growth coming. She's looking good. And mangoes and more, folks. We got all kinds of fun stuff. Here's a Suriname that was left here. Got a little bit, but just for that, you're going to be discounted. Come on by and pick her up. Or come by and pick up these Thai dwarf mulberries that are chock full of berries already. If you want to be berry rich, come see me. And here's another one. Surinames are easy though, folks. Put them in the ground. Sit back and collect if you like that thing. If you like Surinames, grow them. Lemon zest with the whole new flush. That's why I like to tip them over here. That way you shape them, then you see them, and you set up your customer for life, right? Go ahead, you trim them up, tip them. Here's another. Oh no, sorry, orange sherbet. This one's a sherb. This one's a zest. This one was already growing up here. This one, the sherbet, just popped up here. Great structure. Whoever gets this will be living the dream here shortly, folks. But anyways, got Jabos still here. These are all red hybrids and some hybrids with white grafted to it. 20 and 40, and then the grafted ones are 60. So depends on what size you want and what you're looking for. Got some smaller ones as well. They're like 12 bucks, or we have them down to 7 inside if you want something smaller. But all of these spinaches were left out here. A lot of these mojitos were left. They seem to be doing fine. Now that we're here, let's talk moringa real quick. So moringa, got a bunch of seeds available. Hit me up. This is the full size one, right? I don't have any seeds ready for the full size one yet. They're still coming on now, and I probably won't have a lot available, right? To be honest with you, it'll be a smaller batch for the full size. But if you want the dwarf, one over there, it's like 20 foot. Those seeds, they are available right now. And those are going for 25 seeds for $5 or 60 seeds for 10 bucks. Yep. It is one of the best trees to ever grow. If you're not growing them, what is wrong with you? But $7. Are you kidding me? Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Look, all these are hybrids. Red hybrids. Not all, but all the Jabos that you see in there are. But we got a bunch of little small seedlings with your name on it. You want them bigger? I get you. Pay for time, folks. But come take a peek. Take one home. Once you get fruits, you're going to be like, man, I should have got 4 of them. All right. A lot of people don't know what they have until it starts fruiting, and then they want more. This one is the last of the towering Thais that's flowering here. We got 2 more here that I just up potted, but this is my largest one here for 10 bucks. But only a few left, folks. Come on by. Now that I have the greenhouses up, I'm cooking inside of them because this week we're hitting 80 degrees already. I think the weekend's gonna be like 83, which is crazy. Still watching a lot of these grafts, these bud grafts, trying to see if they're gonna pop out something. So I am hopeful, just kind of sticking around to see, will she come out? I don't know. Can we get a bud graft to be successful out here or not? Sad Jabo. Don't know why. I'm gonna have a conversation with her a little bit later. The Mame had to come in here. Nope. Mame Americano. This one had to come in here, and she's more than likely just gonna stay in here. Grafted guavas and all kinds of fun stuff, folks. Come on by, take a tour, see what's here, see what's growing on, see what's new. Come try some jam, folks. We got some local jam made and grown right here without any of those harsh chemicals. None of those junk fertilizers that people love to buy in order to get your plants really big, really fast. Yeah, we don't use those here. So come on by. We got jam. We got moringa seeds. We got trees. We got all kinds of fun stuff. Weather's great. No clouds in the sky. Come on. What's better than that? Come get some fresh air. Get some sun on your face. But anyways, gotta go. Love y'all. Till next time. keep growing. And listen, let's grow together. And yes, is it a gamble? Yes, growing is all a gamble, just like life, just like I-4, just like driving, tying your shoes that are, wherever you're at on the road, like anything can happen. This is all a gamble. But is this the greatest gamble that I've ever done? I would say so. I love this stuff. Once you get fresh fruits, forget about it. There's nothing better than going out and just, a few things are better. But for me, for now, from what I'm experiencing, fresh fruit out here is just amazing. Knowing that there's nothing on it, there's nothing harsh in there, nothing that's going to set you back or give you that C word. But anyways, I got to go. Have a great weekend. Come by and see me. Till next time.